Next guest is a longtime advocate and educator of urban gardening. He's partnered with numerous organizations throughout the state to bring awareness to the growing issue of food deserts in our region. Duron, Chavis, Community Engagement Coordinator at Lewis Ginter Botanical Garden, is back with us to share more about the importance of urban gardening in our community. And Duron, excuse me, I just had to say, okay, enough catching up. Like, let's get down to business, right?
That's right.
We haven't seen each other. I mean, we've seen each other in the sphere of Richmond.
That's right.
But we are graduates of LMR.
We certainly are.
Class of 2011, which is the best one. We're contractually obligated to say that.
The best class.
But enough of that aside, we were catching up. It's great to see you again. You've been doing some amazing things.
Man, it's been an amazing trajectory. The last couple of months have been just phenomenal. Working at Lewis Ginter has been one of the most, I would say, visceral experiences, taking these conversations around food access, urban greening, and really, signal boosting these conversations to a higher, a wider audience has been really, really, really prolific.
Since I met you, you've been working on this, and it's been a quiet build, right? Mm-hmm. It's almost like today, overnight success, but you've been doing this for years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now with the platform of Ginter, of Lewis Ginter, they're almost like a sleeping giant.
Yes, Ginter's mission is improving communities through using plants. And it's a really amazing experience because Lewis Ginter is transforming, looking to really be more impactful on the region. And my role as community engagement coordinator is twofold. I steward the Beautiful RVA Collaborative, which is all about community greening, which is all about beautification projects. But at the same time, we're training people in the community. So my real passion is around education and tooling people up in communities so that they can really take these conversations and manifest the spaces that they would like to see as far as green spaces on their own terms, instead of someone coming in and dropping a garden down and then 3 months later, 6 months later, it's all weeded over. We have invested in individuals in communities so that they can be catalysts for green space sustainability over a long term.
We mentioned the term food desert. Mm-hmm. What is it and why should we care?
Well, a food desert is defined by the USDA as a residential space that does not have a full-on grocery store within a mile or more of its residents. The issue with food deserts is that without nutrition, without proper nutrition, individuals fall victim to diet-related illnesses such as high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer. Even medical evidence talks about behavior disorders like schizophrenia, major depression, bipolar disorder. So it's all about how are you getting your nutrients and minerals, right? And if you don't have a grocery store close to you, you have transportation issues, you really are at a deficit in order to be able to, capture that in your daily intake. So the conversation around food deserts is a really complicated issue, but the root cause of it is really poverty and those disparities, but we use the green spaces as an intervention so that folks can get closer to the food that they can grow on their own terms, and then also wrap around other services, whether it be nutrition education, whether it be horticultural workforce development, whether it be, community resiliency and bringing neighbors closer to one another through the development of green spaces. Those are all different facets to the conversation about addressing food insecurity.
It's almost as though you're a health advocate too, right? Because of all of that happening.
Yeah,
once they get planted, and pardon the pun, what grows out of it?
Right.
I mean, because are people surprised to see how much can come out of it?
Well, I think that the issue is that people have been disconnected from where food comes from. We've been, indoctrinated into, we just go to the grocery store, we go get our frozen bag of broccoli, and that's really the end game for us. But, over the last 5 years, a really high volume of conversation has arisen around local food production. And so a lot of our millennials, a lot of our disadvantaged and marginalized communities have really become more excited around how do I grow my own food. And Lewis Ginter has been embracing that conversation, through, different initiatives such as the Community Kitchen Garden, such as the Ginter Urban Gardener Program, which is the outgrowth of the Beautiful RVA effort, and really, meeting the community where it's at and just really trying to provide that technical expertise as well as, the resources necessary for people to really, create those solutions on their own terms.